Hey, welcome to the Closing Time Podcast. My name is David Mansour, and I'm a mortgage loan officer here in Peachtree City, Georgia. And the goal of my podcast is simply to give you some insight and maybe look behind the curtains in the lives of some of the people that you do business with and see who they are outside of their careers. I hope you enjoy. All right. Hey, everybody. We are here with Christian Warmack.
That's it.
Warmack. I mispronounced it. Dadgummit. We just practiced it. And I still messed it up. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. We're here at the Trillis. What's this called? The Trillis Hotel?
Guest house.
Guest house. A beautiful lobby.
It is.
Free coffee. I don't think it's supposed to be free. I called in advance, actually, and said, hey, is there somewhere to sit and we can get coffee? She said, yeah, definitely. Come on. If you want to eat, you can eat. And then they had a coffee machine. I was like, okay.
Can't help yourself.
Here we are. All right, so you are a real estate agent with Berkshire Hathaway.
Yes, sir.
Who were you before real estate?
Ooh, I was a used car manager. That's who I was. Thought I was gonna, I thought that was my life and just got burnt out. I loved helping people, so, wanted to change. And that's when I shifted over to the real estate world.
Okay. So you grew up around here. We were talking earlier, and I went to high school with your mom. That was crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
She's older than me, though, by just a year. But that's pretty cool. So you've been around here. That helps a lot with your contacts and people you know and everything. So
definitely.
What made you choose real estate?
Ooh, talking to some really good friends. One of our really good friends, Tracy Fuller, who is another broker agent. Talked to her. She kind of got me to take that leap, told me to do it. So I did it. And then, I knew who Rhett was beforehand. I've seen him in high school and stuff like that, saw what he was doing. And then I just kind of did my research on agents that were doing good, especially agents my age. And no one, I guess, shows that they're unhappy in real estate on camera, but everybody that I've met and everybody that, I see online, they all seem to love what they do. So I decided to do it.
Yeah. I think real estate is, if you don't like it, you get out. Like, it's not a career that you're sunk in. I think people, unfortunately, dabble in it. Some people do it part-time. Nothing wrong with that, as long as they're professional and good at what they do. But I think most of the people find success that are still in it and that do a good bit of business. And then it's fun, because when you're helping people and making good money, and you get to do crazy videos all the time.
Yeah, that is true.
You could tell what are they called? The New Year's resolutions, because I've seen more real estate videos, people doing dances and videos, and there's a lot of memes making fun of us. I'm one of them, so I know my video production has been very high the first couple of weeks.
Look, that's how I am. I told myself, my social media marketing needed to, be better, have a plan, and not always the best on camera. I don't like seeing myself, hearing myself, so that's been getting me out of my comfort zone, posting videos where I am talking.
So a lot of times when I'm doing these, I use ChatGPT to try to find a little bit more. It's weird, as good as it is, it does not like being a detective. Like, it is clear with, hey, I only use public information. Yeah. And I found that interesting. Like, I thought it would dig more into people, but it gave me a response to ask about, said that you do not have a very large digital presence. Yeah. And it actually said, ChatGPT was saying that is a really good thing. He said, don't be shy about talking about it, because that's great for a young person starting a career in real estate to be able to make this their starting point to create their digital presence. So when I asked you about this earlier, and you said you might have deleted a few things.
Yeah, so
to start that presence over.
I definitely archived some stuff, but I still didn't post all the time. It maybe was one or two posts a year, really. So it wasn't like I had a huge digital footprint. Most of my stuff on Facebook before I started real estate was my mom posting stuff. She probably posts a little bit too much sometimes, but her posting stuff, and then me being tagged with friends. But I am not one of those people that, I take out my phone and take pictures everywhere or take videos. So it's kind of restarting and just I told myself I wanted to changed my regular Instagram and Facebook over to more my business side. I already had the followers and friends. So that helps me get clients and be seen without having to rebuild from ground zero.
I think you should do whatever you like doing and what's comfortable. I know that every meeting we go, we all go to the same types of speakers and meetings, and they're all saying if we don't have a digital presence, we're not going to be. And I just don't know if I agree with that. Like, if that's not what you do and who you are, I don't know. That's a question. Do you think you can be great at real estate and not have a digital presence?
I definitely do. And the reason I say that is because a lot of agents don't necessarily have a digital footprint, or a huge one at least, and they're doing great. They're closing a bunch. Now, I see the same with people that do have that digital footprint is, if they're working it like they should and knowing how to work it, then they're doing well they're doing well. But, you see a lot of older people in this industry that don't have that social media or that digital footprint, and they're doing perfect. I mean, they're doing great. So I don't think you need it. I think it helps, and I think it helps connect to a younger generation, especially because, we're always on our phones and stuff. But I don't think it's needed.
But there's people like you, too, that are buyers that they don't. Like, I sometimes go, God, I've done so many videos this week or this month, and, I didn't reach all the realtors I thought. And I was like, Lord, 20%, 30%? I'm trying to think of what number of real estate agents in this area are on Facebook as much as I am.
Yeah.
To watch. Like, I'm thinking that I'm advertising at the Super Bowl. Like, everyone's seeing it. But clearly they're not. And so what I've tried to add to my business plan this year was, okay, that's great because I enjoy doing it. I wish I was better at it. But you're not reaching everybody because there's a lot of people that don't care about having a presence. So
no, there's not. And, you might get 100 views on one post, and then you might have one that gets 3,000, 4,000 views. I think, it helps people see you and know you before, they choose you as their agent or lender or whatever. It does help them know who you are and get that relationship built before they even meet you.
Yeah. It's definitely a generation thing as well, because I get so annoyed with my little 14-year-old. Only has TikTok, which is probably the worst one. I think Instagram's probably worse. There's some bad things on
Instagram's worse, but TikTok, you just get stuck scrolling.
Yes, but he'll post something and get 300, 400 likes. And I'm like, you're 14, you just got an account 6 months ago. And I post something that's like 23. I'm like,
it's crazy. I have a friend, actually, I met them through somebody else, but he does TikTok. He's an influencer for full time. He does all the if you've ever seen someone flip their phone over a bridge and catch it with do the Kadamas or the Sharpie flips or the trick shots. It's him. Like he started doing, he'll take an iPhone and flip it over off of a skyscraper edge and do all these flips and tricks and catch it, and he blew up, and that's what he does now.
How many phones does he have?
He has a lot. He has a lot. I mean,
that's awesome.
And so, but you would never know. You never know unless you know him. But
that's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Well, let's get back to real estate. So why did you choose Berkshire Hathaway? Because earlier we were talking, and you were glowing when you talked about that decision and how happy you were with being there. So what made you choose it?
So I interviewed with a couple brokers actually, and then Rhett actually introduced me to Julie. So I was, as soon as I passed my real estate exam, got introduced to Julie, had a phone call with her, met Rhett at the office a few days later, got a tour of the place. But it really was just the fact that they have a lot of training, almost sometimes more than I know what to do with. Everybody is willing to help, and it feels like just a huge family. I mean, I walk in and it's like a family member. You come, they give you a hug, whatever, but they're always willing to help, and they're always there. There's always someone in the office. When I went and interviewed at some other brokers, I would go in there and it was just the person I was interviewing. There wasn't agents, it wasn't traffic. And that's my thing is I go in almost every day because it keeps me motivated.
Yeah.
It keeps me steady. But I want to see people, trying to do the same thing or doing good in the office because it helps push me to do better, see what they're doing, and kind of go off that. So that's kind of why I chose them. And it's been the best decision I've made.
That's awesome. Well, I know going to the office is huge. I don't know what your office setup is like, but I know my biggest growth came from sitting in the office next to my mentor, who I still work with, and just hearing his conversations.
Yeah.
Because just hearing how quickly and how he reacted, and I used to get so mad because he could keep people on the phone, like people back when rates were crazy or whatever, and he could keep on the phone. His phone would ring, and he'd get the application every single time, and I'd talk to him, and I'd be like, and I just started listening, and it helped me tremendously just to be there and hear those conversations and hear the tone and the reaction and everything.
Definitely. That's been one thing is just listening to people take phone calls, listening to their problems and what they do to fix them, and just being there. And it's helped me, stay busy, but it's also helped me learn a lot. Learn something every day.
I mean, you are busy. You said you had 2 deals already in process with buyers.
Yeah, trying to
and
get
one was a lease, which I don't think that's a smaller thing, but that's still activity.
Yeah, trying to finish up a lease right now, and got 2 buyers that trying to find them their perfect house, and so I'm staying busy and helping other agents.
If they need a perfect lender,
look,
might know somebody. I don't know. No, but that's awesome because I said this earlier to you is there are a lot of agents that didn't close 2 deals all last year, and it's January and you have 2 deals working, so that's huge.
Yes, I wanted to come into this year having some stuff started. I wanted to have some realistic goals and have some, huge goals for this year. That way, I can try to push myself.
Yeah. You didn't show up in the suit today. I was trying to decide how to dress because in all your videos, you're like dressed to the nine professional. I was like, do I wear a jacket? Because he's going to come all dressed and nice. I'm glad to see you casual. I appreciate it.
I do try to, dress a little casual. In some of my videos, I am, suited up and everything. But most of the time, it's casual. If I could wear jeans every day, jeans and boots, I would.
Yeah. I mean, again, back to whatever's you. I think that's what people are going to like. People are going to be attracted to that. If it is wearing a suit, people are going to be attracted to that. If it's wearing jeans and a Georgia shirt every day, people are going to be attracted to that.
Dogs.
So just figure it out. Go Dogs. That's right. So what's the biggest challenge so far?
Oh, the biggest challenge, I think there's 2. One, it's being young in this industry. Making sure that people understand that, I might not know everything, but I will get the answer. And just because I'm young doesn't mean I can't work, as hard as someone else. Honest as some of the older ones, I think it actually helps me work harder. I have, I want to set myself up for success. And then I would say number 2, the second hardest thing, which is kind of equal, is knowing what to do when I don't have anything to do. Right. Keeping myself busy. I don't want to stay at home on a day that I don't have anything to do. I want to come into the office and make myself have something to do. I don't want to get in the habit of just sitting around if I don't have anything to do.
Well, I think, and I'm sure Julie and Amy, when your brokers would have probably said this, is your age is not, you can't use that as an excuse.
No.
Like that is not, there are people that are 40 that get in the business day one and find success their first year.
Yes.
Your selling point is the company you work for and your resources, the people you have. People will know that. All right, hey, we're back. I had a little mishap with the camera. I'm sure we beat that last topic to death about your age. So let's move on. What is one thing that you're intentional about every day?
I would say my relationships, whether it be with my family, friends, clients, coworkers, people in the office. I feel like I'm always there for people. They know they can call on me. Try to, reach out to them as much as I can, and try to keep that relationship instead of going, 3 months without hearing from them, or not saying I love you to my mom every day or stuff like that. So
that's a good thing to be intentional about. I love that. I guess there was a challenge of saying, it was like another TikTok thing where people were saying I love you to their mom, like in public.
Yeah.
Like they flipped it on the parents, like, because we always try to embarrass y'all. And the kids were like filming themselves, saying, hey, I love you, mom, like in public around the kids. And the mom was like,
They're like, what?
what's going on? Or they kiss your dad and people were kissing their dad on the forehead. I was like, that's pretty awesome. See, social media is good.
It can be good.
That's awesome. What does success look like for you? So whether it's a year from now or what, I think it's good to have an idea so that you have some sort of satisfaction. What do you think that looks like for you?
That's a big question. For me, not having to, working with clients, helping those clients get into their houses, but also not having to worry about, income, not having to be, not saying it's bad to have, part-time job, but when you're not making any money, unless you sell, I don't want to get to that point that I have that part-time job.
Yeah.
So I think the success would be working hard enough where I don't have to do that, but also not being money as my main focus, helping the clients get into houses, when they can't, when they don't think they can, or, when we find that perfect house for them. That's, I think, what success is.
I think, we talked about that, having a separate account and paying yourself. The idea of not worrying where the next 5 paychecks come from. You're paying yourself. So, for a lot of people, their company's paying them every month. But to know that you have enough money in your business account that you're not worried, and then you're just, coming from a place of I forget the word, there's a great saying there, but any physical goal, like will you buy your mom a car? Will you, like when you get, at some point, maybe you talked about you go to the lake.
Yeah.
Is that a lake house? Maybe that's a 5 or 10 year goal. Is
that,
that...
down the road, within the next, I would hope 5 years, but less, hopefully, obviously buy myself a house. My end goal, and it might be years down the road, is I would like to be able to, pay off any debts that, my family has, or my close family. I shouldn't say all my family, but my close family has, and just be able to.
This was such a great conversation with Christian, and I screwed it up with just the storage on my phone cutting out at the end, so I apologize to Christian, but it was such a good conversation. I didn't want to not put it out there, even though it's broken up a little bit. He finished super strong. He continued to talk about Berkshire Hathaway and the support that he was given and provided in the education. And then my last question to him was, what is your ideal client? And he talked about how his sphere of influence was his friends, and they were all first-time home buyers. And so he absolutely loved that. But he's had the opportunity to work with move-up buyers as well. And we joked about Trilith, and that'd be a great place to sell a house. And absolutely loved the little hotel lobby there. We were able to sit and have coffee, and just a great conversation with a great young man that I think is going to do very well in this industry. So check him out.
Are you having a David day?